So ABC News, Martha Raddatz was talking to very excited liberal voters about, what's on the horizon here. What are you excited about? I've got a Joe Biden supporter with me, and they're just excited about the whole thing. Here's how it went.
Democrats are divided on whether or not President Biden should be running again. You voted for Biden.
I did.
He announced this week. What was your reaction?
Regret, disappointment, frustration.
While it's very early in the race, that disappointment and frustration was expressed again and again by young voters we talked to.
I think I would go for Biden, but obviously I would prefer a fresher candidate.
He announced this week. Were you excited by that?
Not particularly. I'm more interested in a progressive candidate.
Despite having voted for Biden last time, 21-year-old Elena Symes couldn't point me to anything that would make her want to vote for him again. Except, what do you like about Joe Biden?
That he's not Trump.
I mean, that's the whole thing. That's their entire strategy. Yep. If you're curious as to what Joe Biden is trying to do to become president again, you just heard it outlined right there. He will not be Donald Trump.
Yep.
And at no point in the campaign will he be Donald Trump. He might sound like Trump on things like Social Security, but that's a totally different issue, and you should totally ignore that. It is fascinating to watch this because they are not at all inspired by this guy. They are not at all excited about
I have to tell you, I think RFK could make a run for it.
This is insane, too.
I know.
I mean, now
but
look,
I do think he's
at 20% in some of these polls. That's insanity for a guy who is just basically, a long shot. Like
he's going to be perceived as a younger guy, a different generation.
How old is he? He's not young,
gotta
right?
be. No, he's got to be in his 60s.
Let's see, born in 54. So
yeah. So
almost 70.
He's not the typical. He's saying exciting things. He's got 19% with Democrats already.
That's
19.
There's going to be some protest vote. Some people will just say no to whoever's at the top of the ticket. But I think that's more significant. Could just be Kennedy name recognition at this point. And look, Kennedy, people have lost this over the past year or two, but Kennedy aligns very strongly with the hardcore left wing of the Democratic Party. This is a man who wants to put people who disagree with him on climate in prison. This is a person who is outwardly argued for, by name, Glenn Beck and Rush Limbaugh to be executed because of they're guilty of treason.
Yeah, it was a little harsh. It was a little harsh.
I will say that does make them fit directly into the left wing, the AOC wing of the Democratic Party.
It does.
So there is going to be a bunch of people who like that sort of approach. And of course, but really all he's been talking about lately has been the vaccine stuff, which has a base on the left as well as the right. That's sort of a bipartisan issue. And I think it'll go back for a long time.
I will tell you this. The thing I like about Joe Biden is he's not RFK Jr., So we got that going for us.
The thing I like about RFK Jr. is he's not Joe Biden.
Yeah.
So basically no one's voting for anyone.
No.
And we're all just voting against what the other side is.
So Hunter Biden was in court yesterday, and he is actually trying to cry poor mouth. He actually said, I've only ridden on Air Force One once. Which I don't think is true. I've only done that once. My Porsche has been repossessed.
No.
I have no idea what I'm making with my art. No idea. Because I can't, I'm not allowed to see who even bought anything. Well, but you probably are allowed to see the check that you're getting from the gallery, I'm guessing. He said, no, you don't know. It's bad. I had to sleep on a cot in my dad's room when he went to Ireland.
Oh, my God. Wait, why were you with him in Ireland?
Right?
Right.
Why'd you go to Ireland? Maybe you should get a job if you're so poor.
We all know that he's lying, right? and he's blatantly lying here for some purpose. But
Sure.
Can I ask a different question here?
Sure.
Why don't they just pay this woman off? This is an incredibly wealthy family. They have his dad is the president of the United States. They don't need this hassle. Why wouldn't
This
they?
hassle.
I'm serious.
This child.
Again, you don't want to be punished with a baby. But I mean, I'm saying, take out the actual honorable thing to think about. That's not going to be part of the Biden calculus on this. I'm saying purely from politics. You could pay this woman off for what, $250,000 a year? Literally nothing to them. Just pay her. If you are a Democratic operative, and again, if you are, you have no soul, so this would make sense to you. Why wouldn't you just pay her off? Just give her what she wants. Who cares? They obviously don't care about this child. The media doesn't seem to care if the president of the United States is abandoning his grandchild. No one seems to be interested in this. No one's asked him one single question about it. Why, I don't know. But if you're a Democrat, why not just, who cares? Just, hey, George, get George Soros over here, donate some money, pay it off. Find a way to get this paid off so we don't have to hear from her anymore and we can ignore our grandchild in peace. I can't believe that's not their approach. It's really cynical, but I am surprised.
Yeah.
Why are they fighting this?
I don't know. I don't know, other than maybe it's your mistake. You clean it up. But that would require a parent that is going to let somebody sit with their mistakes, and that's not the case.
The Biden family's not been tough love. They've been, hey, use my influence to get yourself out of situations. Which, again, it's not like they feel like if they felt like they were being extorted for a false claim of fatherhood here for Hunter, you could understand it. But that we've already passed that stage. Right? Like, this is a woman who definitely had sex with your son while he was actually dating your other son's ex-wife. Okay? That happened. The tests have all come in. This is actually your grandchild, Joe. And the fact that he will not acknowledge that, and then separately, the Democratic apparatus won't get them out of this trouble for a couple $100,000 is shocking.
Look at how much the left and Democrats hate Donald Trump.
Oh, my God.
They are overlooking,
despise him,
everything on Joe Biden. They've overlooked his massive corruption. We're putting our national security at stake because of his relationships with China. We have our national security at stake because of what we did in Afghanistan and Ukraine. We're torching our economy. We're spending way too much money, and the only solution is to hurt your job and your wages. His son is wildly corrupt. We know that the CIA chief now is wildly corrupt and lied to the American people about the Hunter Biden laptop so he could get elected. I mean, every criminal thing, everything that anybody who is decent at all looks at and goes, this is despicable. And he won't even recognize his grandchild. And it's not that they don't know. They know. This is just, these are despicable human beings. And yet half the country is okay with that. They don't even like him. They don't like the job he's doing. But they will vote for him again.
You know, maybe we're answering our own question here. You know, why don't they pay this woman off? Because they know no one's going to ask. And they know they won't be held accountable. And they know no one cares what they do. They don't care. I mean, they've committed much worse crimes than this, and no one said anything. So why bother? Maybe that's the answer. They're just so confident that they will never be asked a question about it and never will have to deal with reality that they just keep fighting it. Why bother?
You imagine if we slipped through that same wormhole that we slipped through to get to this Earth, and we went back to the Earth we were on, like in 2000, 1980. And the American people woke up and saw this president for what he was? I mean, when if that ever happens, it's going to be a shocking. Think about putting this country back on the right track. I don't know if it can even be done, but think about what a Herculean task that's going to be to clean all of the corruption up, to punish the bad guys, to even recognize the bad guys anymore. We don't even recognize who the bad guys are. What a flip from reality this is going to be.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it.
Yeah,
you know what, Glenn? It'll be really interesting to see how this plays out.
This is what I taught Stu earlier today in the podcast. Mm-hmm. You know, you just look at everything, and instead of going, we're doomed, we're dead. It's going to be interesting to see how this works out. Yeah. I'm really anxious to see how this all plays out, and how people learn, the lesson.
It's sort of a catch-all for all problems, and I am completely and fully in it now. I'm there.
It's good. Mm-hmm. It's good.